Welcome back to another episode. It's your host, SB Press. And today, I gotta say, I got a deeply, deeply special guest. Not only is this man in control of how my hairstyle be looking and why everybody be asking me why my shit be spinning, but today I brought in not just my barber, but my boy Marco, the barber. Thank you for being here today, man. I appreciate you. I just want to say thank you and welcome. And also, I just want to definitely have this open conversation about, like, the artistry of being a barber. Because a lot of people have the misconception of, like, just thinking, like, it's anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So, like, the main thing that I want to also just bring up is not everybody has the hand-eye coordination for barbering. Not everybody has a sharp eye and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, tell the people a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, and we'll get into your upbringing and how you started off being a barber.
Thank you for having me, first of all. I appreciate you. Um, and it's a blessing, man, to even just sit here and just, get the opportunity to speak, about my craft and, you know, give it a different lens than what people, you know, created. But, my name is Marco. Go by Marco the Barber. Um, I'm 32 years old. I'm Hispanic, Latino. Um, I'm born and raised in LA. I'm a project baby from Lamar Gardens. I was raised there up until I was about 16. And then I became a barber at 21 from scratch. And I've been cutting hair for 10 years. And all I can say is that it changed my life. So, if I can do it, you can do it, though. So, anybody can do it.
You really think anybody can do what you do, though? Because
Not exactly
what
like,
I see you doing,
not as good as I can, maybe, but
yeah,
on the time frame.
Like, I'm not trying to toot your horn, not trying to say because you
you're
cut
not.
my own hair, but
Because I definitely I broke barriers through, you know, there's cats that have been cutting hair for 20, 30, 40 years, and they can't reach something, respectfully, they can't reach heights that I've reached that 10-year mark from scratch, you know. So it just comes to show that it's just more than just cutting hair, and it's just everything is personal, and it's just all about how far you want to take it, and that's cool.
did you always, like, just coming out of high school, did you have the mindset of, like, oh, I'm gonna be a barber?
No.
Or what was your first aspirations before, being a master of the barbery arts?
Basketball.
Had hoop dreams.
Hoop dreams.
Hoop dreams. That's another deep connection me and you share. So I definitely understand the hoop dreams and that. Young Kobe, as they called you.
Man.
Young Kobe, as they called you.
Man.
I did my research.
Research?
I did my research,
okay.
and I'm talking about people who've known you since junior high school. So like, for the fact of, like, again, young Kobe. So I can already tell, the skill set and the determination and mentality that you came to the course with and stuff like that. How did you incorporate that mentality into the barbering game? Because you broke barriers, or you're breaking barriers.
Right.
You're a Hispanic barber. I'm a black guy. How was it getting black clientele?
Black king.
Please appreciate that, young black king. How did it come into you getting black clientele?
That's racist.
It's not, but it's just like.
It's funny how I get these questions all the time, and another one I get asked is, "What's more difficult to cut, black people hair, Mexican hair?" And right, it's really no different, It got its negatives and positives on both sides. If you know how to cut hair, you know how to cut hair. If you know hair, you know hair. It's not about what kind of hair. Of course, not all hair is the same. So, one major key to barbering is learning hair textures. So once you learn hair textures by just the cue of the eye, which you would say eyeball it, you know what I mean? You just eyeball, you know what I'm saying, certain, you know what I'm saying, angles of the industry, then um, at that point you just, you can do anything with it. It's just like a canvas, it's just another canvas. It's just like another, it's the basketball, you know? You can use that ball and do a lot of moves with it, you know what I'm saying? And everything plays its course, so it's just, you gotta have precision. You definitely have to be um, um, dedicated, like an athlete or like any other craftsman. But it's it's more mental than anything else, just like life. So everything kind of just like um, comes full circle with one another, because in order for you to be great at well, I'm gonna speak for myself. For me to be great at what I do and to get like one of the things that gave me an advantage was just incorporating um, my basketball, I guess you could say, competitive, uh, um,
Nature, repertoire.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like that's why I understand Kobe so much, like the manga and like what what it really, you know what I'm saying, what it really means and what it's like you gotta be all in with whatever it is. So me being a basketball player at that time growing up, I was invested in basketball all day, every day. So I played ball all day. That's all I thought about. That's all I, you know, basketball. And who did I study the most? MJ and Kobe. And then of course the other greats, Team Magazines, AI, and so on and so on. But I just I just try, I just felt like I fumbled my basketball dreams, and I just found something else that I got passion for. I picked up passion for it. I could make some good money, and I knew that at the end of the day, whether it was cutting hair or cutting grass, um, I could take it to any level I want to, because I know my abilities just from the court, and from the court to you know society and just being a regular human. And then of course after becoming a barber, you have to have constant discipline. Um, um, you have to be committed, and you have to love what you do. I used to love playing ball. That was my getaway. So cutting hair became my getaway. And I just translated everything that I couldn't accomplish, or that I felt like I kind of like failed or let myself down at, and I just use it and uh, through my cutting hair career, or just through cutting hair. So I just treat it the same, and you know anything is possible if you just put your mind to it. So it's just kind of me redeeming myself from my hoop dreams and my abilities, and it's just a blessing that I'm here even translating this to you, because I'm not even supposed to be here. you know I'm a statistic just like you are.
Mhm.
And then like when I was 2 years old, my appendix bursted in my stomach.
Sorry to
And
hear that.
now you get it.
I had a situation
Yeah,
where it almost bursted on me.
yeah. And it went bad. So long story short, I wasn't supposed to be here, but I'm here. And thanks to the grace of God, I'm just paying it forward with you know my platform and my 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 skill that I was gifted with, and um, you know I just want to share, and hopefully my testimony inspires or helps anyone that can relate to me, or that is dealing with something that I'm dealing with, and um, that's just, I guess, me doing my diligence and, living my piece. You know, that's what, that's what gives me, that's what makes me happy. It's just making other people better, helping others, assisting, you know what I mean? And that's just what life's all about. I feel like it's just, each one teach one, iron sharpens iron. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? To each his own. What you eat don't make you shit. Um, it's just about everything's personal.
So then, my next thing is, who was the iron sharpening your iron to even inspire you to go into barber school? Like, I know your barber school story. I want the world to know your barber school story. Because the person who inspired you even to go into barber school didn't even make it past the point that you did. So, like, even with this, with that story being said, like, who were some of the people that inspired you to being the barber that you are today?
In my when I first started, or
Yeah, when you first started.
like the very very beginning.
Yeah, in the very beginning.
Um,
How did your barber school days even start?
well, it's a funny story because I went to barber school on accident, and my boy, shout out to Josh Blue. Um, he was already cutting hair on the side, he was doing his thing, and he would use it as a hobby, and then he enrolled to school, and I was going to come up to, at that time I was,
Hoop dreams, though, right?
no, I was about 19, 20.
Okay.
Now at that time I kind of gave up the hoop dreams, and I was looking into, I was really more becoming a man because, you know,
Circumstances of life.
with life, yeah, and like I said, I found out that I was gonna have a baby around 21 to 21, so that's right, almost going right before barber school. So into that mix, I had, between like 18 and a half to like 20, I was not really. I was, visiting my dad for the first time. I spent, a couple months over there, so um, I kind of like just, went to Pluto, and when I came back, my boy was like, "Yo, you should enroll into barber school with me, bro. Like, you're not doing nothing. Do a whole pastime. Try it." And I was like, "Man, all right, fuck it." I enrolled, and like not so long after that, my man got a job and he dropped out, and then I stayed, and yeah, I'm here. Shoot.
Grind it out.
I'm here.
And I'll say, like, it's funny how, even though he didn't finish, even planting that in your head from the beginning, like, hey, give us a shot, led you into this situation 10 years later to where, like, you're cutting celebrities. You cutting.
You saw my face right out? Like, that shit just hitting me.
Like, dude, you cutting a lot of people to where, like, again, first words you told me was, don't cheat yourself.
Okay.
And ever since then, I feel and see the difference within my haircuts. I get more compliments, and it's just everything just butter.
Do you mind putting like Kobe highlights?
Oh, not at all.
Or like something like that?
Not at all. But yeah, I think that the fact that you were able to like mash it out and finish it up and stuff just shows a testimony of like, you really going full fledged and hard with this shit. And I'm looking at it today again with my cuts, and even we had this discussion probably like a couple months ago. Random dude comes up to my job. He was like, "Hey man, it's a nice haircut you got there. I just came from getting my haircut." I was like, "Oh yeah?" He was like, "Yeah, it's my first time." It's like, "Where'd you go?" "Around the corner." I was like, "Brick building?" He was like, "Yeah." It was like my boy Marco. He was like, "Yeah, tattoos and everything." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He was like, "Bro, the best cut I ever had." This thing came all the way from Long Beach.
Honorable.
All the way from Long Beach That's to honorable. The Valley.
That's honorable.
And like I said, I marvel at just being able to see other people appreciation, if not match mine, overdo it, over exceed. Like I said, for me, it didn't take me going online to see, like, let me see this nigga's other haircuts and stuff like that. It was the confidence in your words that you bestowed when I first, when I first had that encounter with you. And like I seen you from time to time prior to that, but it was that one time when you left me with the
like a troublemaker,
words. Nah, not even that. I'm just like me. I see everything. I'm a very observant person. So like anybody coming into my job, coming around my job, walking up the street, it's just I'm just I'm a hawk.
That part.
So like like I said, it was those magic words, man. Don't cheat yourself, and that's what zoned me in, and I just been plugged in ever since. And some of the things that I definitely want to also ask you is it true that there's no hair that a barber cannot cut?
Mm,
Like, is there not any type of like, is there not any type of haircut you can't do? And also, let's go down the list because you're not just a master of cutting hair. You also do other things like facials. I'm sure you do dyes and everything. Like tell people a little bit about your catalog.
well, I master in fades. Like the blends. Um, I'm very versatile all around. Um, I do lack in my shears. Um, and I'm actually going back to school just to kind of like, um, go through the motion again,
Sharpen your sword.
sharpen my sword. But I have my barber license, so I'm going back to school to get my cosmetology license. And it's not gonna be much, a couple months. And yeah, I feel like that's gonna help my catalog and take it to the next level. Honestly speaking, um, so after knowing myself and learning myself and becoming the barber that I am, and um, understanding my strengths and my weaknesses, after so for so long focusing on my strengths and mastering those are like second nature to me now, just like that dunk. And so now I'm capable to like that shit's already in my it's stored. You know what I mean? Boom, like muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I could focus on my flaws now, and it's not much. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I say that to say this to all barbers: like you start barber school, you go to barber school, um, get in tune with everything, and that's what I would do. Um, any type of haircut, any style, any um, texture that would walk through that door, I would jump on it, even if I didn't know how to do it or what to do. I had to go through the process to know what type of shit I'm gonna deal with
And
the major
I'm
leagues.
glad you brought that up because speaking of you jump on it, how the hell do you get kids to sit still?
Man, kids feel everything.
So like, how do you get a child to sit still while you cutting their hair?
Um,
Because
well,
like I got some parents who got some sons out there who need cuts.
so parents forget that kids are human beings too, and they're just young adults. You know what I mean? Depending on the age that they are. But the baby ones, um, it, first, if they should start young. You know, if you want him to really get used to it naturally, you start young and you start gentle and you kind of just let him let the him grow into it, just like he's growing into life. Because kids don't, from the moment they're born to they become adults, they don't know anything. Everything that they're going through, it's his first time. Like 1 year old is crawling through the carpet and he sees a shoebox. You might think it's a toy or something. Like it's his first time he ever saw a shoebox, so he's gonna be intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it, just a shoebox would be a haircut. You know, the buzz, all that, like, you know, and then depending on the kid's background, um, that buzz might be triggered. Um, you know, it just varies, but it all comes down to um, just having um, getting, you know, having the child comfortable and not forcing it, not ever forcing a haircut, and and making them like scream and you know hold his head tight and like that would just make it a lot worse. So I would say just be patient. Start young. Get a clipper of your own. You know, and just you know get them used to the buzz at least. And that's mainly the main thing that kids um, get either scared
Or
or bothered
anxious
or
and stuff.
anxious or triggered is the noise of the clipper. And then of course the barber has to be aware that the clipper that they're using is not fucking zero gapped or nothing like that. Like you fucking barbers better not be using those zero gap clippers on no fucking from like from like four to like young. Like I wouldn't suggest it. So you wouldn't even need a zero gap unless you're like a master or something, like myself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
I noticed you also another way you get the kids to like, or you would probably have the kids to sit still is you definitely have a lot of candy in your spot. So
yeah,
you definitely have little other ways to get people to be calm and relaxed and
that was an interesting question.
distracted. Oh yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to. Like I said, it's an open conversation. So like for me,
I love it.
it's just more so like asking questions that I think other people would also wanna know answers to.
I love it.
So like um, what would you tell somebody like? How do you deal with women haircuts? Because more women are starting to come into the
Mm-hmm.
groove of cutting their hair shorter and stuff like that. What are some of the haircuts that you're coming across when it comes to women more so? Are they just going for the fades? Are they going for
It's a little bit different. Shout out to Emily. I cut her hair today. She's from Australia, and it's my first time cutting her hair. And she had a beautiful style, like kind of starting real tight on the side, flaring out into the top, and she had a natural flow, um, somewhat of like a faux hawk, feminine. Um, I just tightened it up on the sides, raised it up, put it together, gave it some shape, put the texture on there, um, baby taper the back, and it was all about communication.
mm-hmm.
Like if you learn the craft and you 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 get used to the tools and the techniques and all that, all that when a client sits in your chair, all you have to do is just picture what he wants. Once you picture what he wants and you know what he wants, after that you just get your tools and you just get the crafting.
So then there's no need for this next question, which was how many cuts does it take for you to get fully comfortable with a client's head?
In time overall, about a second.
Okay.
Yeah, second time should be good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First time to give them the image. Second time is just to
Yeah.
build off of that and
Right.
stuff and
Because
keep going.
depending how the type of girl the client had or how much I did, whether it was a certain style of kit that we started or that I kind of like added on to, whether it was his line getting pushed back and I'm bringing it back, or the taper was too high and I'm bringing it lower, or one side is lower than the other, stuff like that.
Yeah, because everybody's rollback is different. I know my shit it'd be different a lot because sometimes I feel like wearing a do rag here and there.
My bad, bro.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't. So
I can't smoke a cigarette here, can I? Of course not.
nah, I can take you out to the patio though.
I'm good, bro.
But
cut that part out too.
definitely. But nah, man. I just want to say, oops. I just want to say, man. I appreciate you taking the time out and coming on through, man. I gotta go ahead and can I just book an appointment verbally right now, or
For
do I
sure.
have to wait in person? I mean, do I have to do it over the phone? So I'm just gonna go ahead and book my appointment now because this guy's like hot Cheetos for junior high school kids. It's not there that long. The appointment times you're looking for ain't there that long. So you better get it while they hot. And just like that, next time, compadres, I'll see ya.